Morning, y'all. Welcome to our channel, Mandy Southern Stitching. Today we've got an extra special day, sewing day. We are going to be making cat toys, kicky sticks. You may have seen these online. They sell for like $12, and stuff. You can make them at home with your scraps. And you can make them in different sizes. These are large. We made them large. They're approximately, let's measure them out here for you, about 21 inches, but the standard size is around 14, 15 inches. So we're going to show you how to make these. Danielle is going to be our demonstrator. She's going to sew. She's going to show you what to do.
And this is our pet cat.
And this is something we made yesterday. This is a cat. It's a Funky Friends Factory pattern for the Patchwork Pussycat. And did make one tiny mistake. His tail was actually supposed to be turned around like this, but this was my very first one making it, so there are a few mistakes.
But it makes
But
him
it's
unique.
still cute, and he's unique. So we're gonna get started here in just a second. We're gonna explain what you need to get started. You need some scrap fabric cut approximately 3.5 inches wide by 30 inches long. And this is just scraps from a 108 backing that I had for her quilt that I made for her bed. And we're gonna use them to make cute little kicky sticks.
We have other fabrics too.
You wanna show them that one?
This was made for my pillowcases for my quilt. And we have a little bit extra.
And this was from her brother's quilt that I'm currently fixing to bind. It's just the extra backing fabric when I trim the quilt. You know, you get these weird thin little strips. What do you do with them? You can use them in scrap quilts. But if you have a cat, or you know someone who has cats, or you want to make some to donate to a local shelter or rescue, they're quick, easy. They take literally 10 minutes to make one. I mean, you can spend an hour and make 4 or 5. So we're going to get started. Danielle's going to be our sewist today. She's on my Juki. Let's get her where you can see her and her machine here.
Your machine.
It's my machine, but you are borrowing it today. And there we go. Alright, so what she has is a 3.5 inch wide by approximately 30 inch long strip of fabric that she has doubled. Now we're going to turn it pretty sides together so that the seams are on the inside when we turn it out. And we just fold it in half. And you can press the fold in it if you want, but you don't have to. And she's going to sew about 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch on each side, just to make sure she gets it all the way to the bottom, all the way to the end on each side. So I'll let her get started. once the threads are trimmed, you want to go get that wooden spoon. I put it back in under. You need some kind of long, sturdy instrument, or you can use your fingers, but it's easier with something that's longer so that it doesn't unwind on you. But you will take it and you will turn it inside out, or outside in.
Or you can use...
You can use a wooden spoon like this.
Or stick.
Or a stick, or if you've got a dowel or a chopstick or something. Just something to give you a little leverage so that it doesn't all come unwind on you and you have to start over. And then you kind of turn it out. And then you just hang on to that because you're going to need to poke it out at the end. And then you just take it. Kind of wring them out a little bit, and then you take your wooden dowel, or I just use my wooden cooking spoon, as long as it's clean. No spaghetti in there.
Yeah, cats aren't supposed to have spaghetti.
And then you just kind of poke out the corners, get it all the way to the end here. And there's not going to be real sharp points. I don't really worry about having sharp corners. You could trim the ends to make sure that you have some crisp corners if you want, but I don't think your cat's going to complain about a crisp corner. And they're actually, you kind of want them to be round so that they're playing with them, that you know they're round. So Miss Danielle's going to stuff it, and then you can use your wooden spoon or a chopstick or something to help push it down all the way to the end. And you want them kind of tight. You don't want them really loose. These are kind of in between. This one's kind of tighter. That way it's got some heft to it and kind of stays straight for when the cat takes it and starts wrapping around it with all its legs and kicking it, you know. So I would demonstrate on a real cat, but my real cats are upstairs, so, and they don't perform on command. As we all know, cats don't. So.
They have a tortitude.
Yep, they have attitude, tortitude, because they're tortoise.
Well, only 2 of them have tortitude.
The other one has orange tude.
You have to find the right spot to kind of push it.
And you can use the other end, the wide end. You using the wide end? You can use the wide end of a wooden spoon, or if you have something that's got a wider end on it, it might give you some more heft to push it down in there, like that. Kind of, that way it's not pushing beyond it, it's actually pushing the fabric down to the end, like that. So. Adjust our camera down just a wee bit so they can see you.
Because I'm short.
She's altitudinally challenged at the moment. And this takes just a few minutes to stuff, and then we're going to sew the edges, sew the end in. You can either do it
hand sew.
You can hand sew it, or I just sew it on the machine, as long as it's a tight sew like this. You know, if you want it prettier where these are folded in and you don't see the seam, you can do it by hand. But I mean, it's going to a cat. A cat's not going to care what it looks like.
The cat is just going to play with
They're just going to play with it. And as long as they can't open it up and get the stuffing out,
and that's good.
that's good. And these can be good for dogs too. But if it was for a dog, I would use a thicker, more durable material like a canvas. If you have a good one that likes to chew and destroy toys, I would use something like that. But if you have one that's just kind of lightly chews, or just kind of likes to put things in their mouth and tote them around like a retriever, our retriever loves the kicky sticks, our golden doodle. She loves kicky sticks. She has taken one of the cats and made it her own.
Cats don't even play with them.
So, then you can probably use these for that. But if you do have, if you want to use them as a retriever toy, a dog toy, and you know your dog likes to destroy their stuffed animals and their toys, I would use a more durable material, and just make sure that your machine and your needle
really
are equipped to handle the thicker material.
And they catch the fabric, so there's no holes.
Yeah, and you don't want holes. And I wouldn't stuff this with fabric scraps. I would use polyfill or something that's more safer if you're going to use for dogs, because smaller pieces that the dogs can eat can be undigestible and could cause you digestive problems. And cats usually don't tear these up. I mean, if you got a cat that chews, then you know that they destroy their toys, then you might want to use a durable material for them as well. But these seem to do just fine.
We are almost there.
We're almost to the end.
Just gotta make sure it's tight. I feel tight.
Yes, that is perfect. So just about another few inches of there. And we will sew the top. I think that's good.
Yeah.
All right. So here we are. We've got it sewn we've got it filled all the way to about an inch to 3/4 of an inch to the top. And then what you do is you just kind of fold in the top edges so that they're not raw and will unravel. And then you are just going to sew about 1/4 of an inch across there. Just make sure you're catching all of the fabric. And you can pin it if you need to, but it's such a small thing that you really don't need to. Okay. Sometimes the machine gets kind of crappy. Alright. Sometimes you have to start right here and then a few stitches.
And then back stitch.
And then back stitch a few. Now, it should go all the way across. It can be finicky sometimes lately. I don't know what's gotten into it. It needs to be silicone. Oh.
No. It would not do its job.
Okay, now you just push and I'll hold. Teamwork makes the dream work. Alright, all the way in, and we're going to back stitch just a little bit so it holds. Trim threads.
Wow, your machine trims it for you.
Yeah. So,
just trim my threads.
We'll cut these little threads off here. And we'll do some more trimming later, but there you are. All sewn in. And it's ready for your cat. You can spray it. I have some catnip spray that I spray mine with to kind of entice them to play with it. And they're washable, dryable, ready for you to use with your cats. So, alright, guys. And coming up in probably sometime later this summer, we will do a video on how you make these guys. I'm going to get a few more under my belt so that we get them right, get their tails right, and everything before we actually do a video on it, because I want to get more familiar with how to make these. But we'll see you back later on our channel.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good day.